Let me ask you something. How much time do you waste thinking about other people, comparing yourself, watching what they're doing, worrying about their opinions? Let me tell you the truth. You are robbing yourself of success, happiness, and peace. Because while you're busy looking sideways, watching someone else's highlight reel, guess what? You're not moving forward in your own life. Focusing on others is one of the biggest obstacles to personal growth and success. It's natural to compare yourself to others, especially in a world where people constantly showcase their achievements, but this habit does more harm than good. Every moment spent analyzing someone else's progress is a moment taken away from your own journey. When you measure your worth against someone else's accomplishments, you create unnecessary stress, anxiety, and self-doubt. Comparison leads to frustration because no two people have the same starting point. Someone might be ahead of you in their career, fitness, or personal growth, but that doesn't mean you're failing. It just means they've been on their journey longer or had different circumstances. When you fixate on their success, you ignore the effort they put in, the failures they faced, and the struggles they overcame. You see the polished results, but not the late nights, the setbacks, or the sacrifices. This distorted perception makes it easy to feel behind, even when you're making progress at your own pace. The more you focus on others, the less energy you have for yourself. Your mind becomes consumed with thoughts like, why are they so much further ahead? Or what am I doing wrong? Instead of asking, what can I do today to move forward? The truth is, success doesn't come from watching others. It comes from consistent effort, action, and resilience. The energy wasted on comparison could be used to develop your skills, build your confidence, and take meaningful steps toward your goals. When you constantly compare, you allow external factors to dictate your self-worth. If someone else is doing better, you feel inadequate. If they fail, you feel reassured. This roller coaster of emotions is exhausting and unproductive. Instead of using others as a benchmark, focus on your own progress. The only person you should be competing with is the person you were yesterday. Every small improvement, every lesson learned, and every step forward matters. Social media intensifies the habit of comparison. People post their best moments, curated highlights, and filtered realities. When you scroll through their seemingly perfect lives, it's easy to forget that you're only seeing a fraction of the truth. You might feel like you're falling behind, but you have no idea what's happening behind the scenes. That person with the perfect job might be struggling with stress. The one with the dream relationship might be dealing with personal challenges. The entrepreneur who seems to have it all figured out might have faced countless failures before finding success. The problem is that we compare our reality, complete with struggles and imperfections, to someone else's best moments. One of the most dangerous effects of comparison is that it stops you from taking action. When you believe others are already ahead, you start questioning whether it's even worth trying. You hesitate, you doubt yourself, and you delay taking the first step. This mindset kills progress. Success isn't about being the best from the start. It's about improving over time. The people you admire didn't start as experts, they started as beginners just like you. The only difference is that they kept going, focused on their own path, and didn't let comparison hold them back. Your journey is unique. No one else has lived your life, faced your challenges, or walked your path. That means no one else can define your success. What matters is not where others are, but where you are headed. If you stay committed to your own growth, you will see progress. It won't happen overnight, but small, consistent actions will create results. Every time you choose to focus on yourself instead of others, you take back your power. You shift from a passive observer to an active participant in your own life. The next time you catch yourself comparing, stop and redirect your focus. Ask yourself what you can do in that moment to improve. Whether it's learning something new, setting a small goal, or simply reminding yourself that your journey is valid, choose progress over comparison. Success isn't about being ahead of others. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. Social media has completely changed the way we see the world and ourselves. It has given us instant access to people's lives, but the problem is that what we see isn't the full reality. Every time you scroll through your feed, you are looking at a carefully curated version of someone else's life. You see the perfect vacations, the big promotions, the happy relationships, and the seemingly effortless success. What you don't see are the struggles, failures, insecurities, and behind-the-scenes battles that everyone faces. The problem is that when you compare your real, unfiltered life to someone else's highlight reel, you automatically feel like you're falling short. People don't post their struggles in the same way they post their victories. They don't share the 100 failed attempts before their big win. They don't talk about the sleepless nights, the self-doubt, or the sacrifices they made. Instead, they share the best moments, the ones that make them look successful, happy, and in control. This creates an illusion that their life is perfect, while yours is full of challenges. But the truth is, no one's life is as flawless as it appears online. Everyone has setbacks, everyone has insecurities, everyone faces moments of doubt. When you believe the illusion that social media creates, it's easy to feel behind. You start wondering why your life doesn't look as exciting or successful as others. You question whether you're working hard enough, talented enough, or smart enough. The more time you spend comparing yourself to the people on your screen, the more discouraged you become. Instead of feeling inspired, you feel stuck. Instead of focusing on your own growth, you get caught up in what others are doing. This kind of thinking drains your confidence and motivation, making it harder to take action in your own life. Another dangerous effect of social media is that it makes people seek validation in the wrong places. Instead of focusing on real, meaningful accomplishments, people start chasing likes, comments, and followers. They start measuring their worth by external approval instead of personal growth. This creates a cycle where people feel pressure to present a perfect image rather than being authentic. The problem is that no amount of online validation can replace real self-confidence. If your self-worth depends on how many people approve of you online, you will always feel insecure. Social media also distorts the meaning of success. It makes it seem like success happens overnight. You see someone launch a business and suddenly become wealthy. You see someone start a fitness journey and quickly achieve their dream body. But what you don't see is the years of effort, failures, and hard work that went into those achievements. When you believe success happens easily for others, it's easy to feel like you're not doing enough. But real success is built over time through consistency and persistence. The best way to protect yourself from the illusion of social media is to create boundaries. If scrolling makes you feel unworthy or unmotivated, take a break. Unfollow accounts that make you feel like you're not enough. Surround yourself with people and content that inspire you rather than make you feel small. Most importantly, remind yourself that social media is not reality. It's just a collection of moments, not the full picture. Your journey is real and it's valuable, even if it doesn't look as glamorous as what you see online. Instead of getting lost in other people's stories, start focusing on your own. Your progress may not be visible to everyone, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. Every effort you make, every lesson you learn, and every challenge you overcome is part of your success. What matters most is not how your life looks to others, but how you feel about the life you're creating. The moment you stop believing the illusion and start focusing on your own path, everything changes. What you focus on shapes your reality. Every thought, every bit of energy, and every ounce of attention you give to something determines what grows in your life. If you constantly focus on what others are doing, you are feeding their success instead of your own. The more you fixate on someone else's achievements, lifestyle, or progress, the less time and energy you have to invest in yourself. It's like watering someone else's garden while letting your own wither away. Your mind is incredibly powerful, and it will amplify whatever you focus on. If you are always looking at your shortcomings, you will feel stuck. If you are constantly comparing yourself to others, you will feel inadequate. But if you shift that focus inward toward your goals, your growth, and your daily actions, you will start to see real change. The problem is, most people don't realize they are spending so much energy on distractions that don't serve them. They waste time scrolling, comparing, and wondering why others seem to have it easier, when that same energy could be used to create the life they want. Think about the last time you felt really motivated. Maybe it was after hearing an inspiring story, achieving a small goal, or realizing that you were making progress. That motivation came from a place of focus, when you were dialed into your own journey, not someone else's. But the moment you shift that focus outward, it disappears. This is why people lose momentum. They start strong, but then they get distracted by what others are doing and begin to question themselves. Instead of staying committed, they get caught up in a cycle of doubt and hesitation. There's a reason why successful people stay focused on their own path. They don't waste time watching what others are doing. They use every ounce of energy to move forward. They understand that the more they focus on their work, their habits, and their progress, the more they will grow. They know that distractions only slow them down. It's not about ignoring the world. It's about prioritizing yourself. Every day you have a choice. You can either spend your time thinking about what others are achieving, or you can channel that energy into your own growth. If you choose the latter, your progress will accelerate. The more you invest in your own goals, the faster you will see results. This is why it's so important to be intentional about where you direct your attention. If you constantly focus on the things you can't control, like someone else's success, you will feel powerless. But if you focus on the things you can control, like your daily actions, mindset, and effort, you will feel empowered. The key is to be aware of what takes up your mental space. If you find yourself spending too much time thinking about others, pause and redirect your thoughts. Ask yourself, is this helping me grow? If the answer is no, let it go. Instead, focus on what you can do today to improve your own life. Even small shifts in attention can make a huge difference. Over time, those small shifts compound into massive progress. The people who achieve the most in life are the ones who learn to manage their focus. They don't let distractions pull them away from their purpose. They don't waste energy on things that don't serve them. Instead, they pour everything into their own development. And because of that, they grow faster, achieve more, and build the life they want. The same is possible for you if you choose to focus on yourself. Taking action is the single most important factor in achieving success. Many people spend their time looking for inspiration, reading motivational quotes, watching others succeed, and dreaming about the life they want. While inspiration feels good in the moment, it doesn't create real results. What separates successful people from those who stay stuck is not how much they know or how inspired they feel, but how quickly they take action. Thinking about change is not the same as making it happen. If you want to see progress in any area of your life, you need to shift from passive learning to active doing. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing they need to have everything figured out before they start. They think they need more knowledge, more skills, more confidence, or the perfect plan. This mindset creates endless delays. The truth is, action comes before confidence, not the other way around. You don't wait until you feel ready to start. You start and then you build confidence along the way. No one feels completely prepared at the beginning, but the only way to gain experience and grow is by stepping into the unknown and taking that first step. Many people get stuck in a cycle of overthinking and analysis paralysis. They spend so much time researching and planning that they never actually begin. They convince themselves that they need more preparation, but in reality, they are just avoiding the discomfort of taking action. Success is not about having a perfect strategy from day one. It's about starting, making mistakes, learning, and adjusting along the way. Every successful person started before they felt ready. They took imperfect action, learned from their experiences, and improved over time. Action also creates momentum. The hardest part of anything is getting started. Once you take the first step, it becomes easier to take the next. Small actions build confidence and push you forward. If you wait for motivation to strike, you will never make consistent progress. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. Discipline and action, on the other hand, create lasting change. When you commit to showing up and doing the work, regardless of how you feel, you build habits that lead to real results. Fear is another major factor that stops people from taking action. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of making the wrong choice. It all leads to inaction. But avoiding action because of fear doesn't eliminate the fear, it only makes it stronger. The best way to overcome fear is to face it head on. The moment you take action despite your fears, you weaken their power over you. You realize that failure isn't the end, it's just a lesson. You understand that people's opinions don't define your worth. You start to see that progress is more important than perfection. Excuses are another trap that keep people from taking action. I don't have enough time. I don't have the right resources. I'll start when things are less stressful. These are just stories people tell themselves to justify staying in their comfort zone. The reality is there will never be a perfect time. There will always be obstacles, challenges, and reasons to wait. But successful people don't wait for ideal conditions. They make progress with what they have. They start where they are, do what they can, and keep moving forward no matter what. Taking action doesn't mean making huge, life-changing moves overnight. It means starting with small, manageable steps. If you want to get in shape, start with a 10-minute workout today. If you want to write a book, start with one paragraph. If you want to start a business, take one small step toward your idea. The key is to focus on progress, not perfection. Every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. Over time, these small actions add up and create significant transformation. The biggest lesson to remember is that action leads to clarity. Many people wait until they have the perfect plan before they start, but the truth is, you won't have clarity until you take action. The only way to know what works and what doesn't is by doing. The more you take action, the more you learn about yourself, your goals, and the path forward. You gain experience, you discover new opportunities, and you build the skills necessary to succeed. But none of that happens if you stay stuck in thought without action. Every person who has ever achieved something great did so by taking action. They didn't wait for the perfect moment, and they didn't let fear or doubt stop them. They made the choice to move forward even when it was uncomfortable. If you want to see change in your life, stop waiting for inspiration and start taking action. The sooner you do, the sooner you'll start building the life you want. Distractions are everywhere, and if you don't take control of them, they will take control of you. Every day, countless things compete for your attention. Social media, emails, notifications, endless scrolling, and even people who drain your energy. If you allow these distractions to dictate your time, they will pull you away from your goals, slow your progress, and leave you feeling unfulfilled. Success requires focus, and focus requires eliminating anything that does not serve your growth. One of the biggest distractions today is social media. It's designed to keep you engaged, to make you keep scrolling, clicking, and comparing. Before you know it, hours have passed and you haven't accomplished anything meaningful. Social media is not the enemy, but if it's taking time away from your personal development, it becomes a problem. The solution is to set boundaries. If certain platforms make you feel unproductive or discouraged, limit your time on them. Unfollow accounts that trigger self-doubt, comparison, or negativity. Use social media as a tool, not a distraction. Another major distraction is the habit of consuming too much information without taking action. Many people spend hours watching motivational videos, reading self-improvement books, or listening to podcasts, but never apply what they learn. While gaining knowledge is important, it is useless if it doesn't translate into action. If you find yourself constantly seeking more information instead of taking steps toward your goals, it's time to change your approach. Set a rule for yourself. Every time you consume something motivational, take one concrete action based on what you've learned. People can also be distractions, especially those who bring negativity, doubt, or drama into your life. If you are surrounded by individuals who constantly complain, discourage you, or make you feel small, it will be difficult to stay focused on your path. The people you spend time with influence your mindset, motivation, and productivity. If someone drains your energy or distracts you from your goals, it may be necessary to set boundaries. Surround yourself with those who uplift, inspire, and challenge you to become better. Your environment plays a huge role in your ability to stay focused. If your surroundings are cluttered, noisy, or filled with distractions, your mind will struggle to concentrate. A simple way to improve focus is to create a space that supports productivity. Remove unnecessary distractions. Keep your workspace organized and set clear boundaries around your time. Let others know when you are working so you can stay committed without interruptions. Another common distraction is multitasking. Many people believe they can be more productive by juggling multiple tasks at once, but in reality, multitasking reduces efficiency and increases mistakes. When you constantly switch between tasks, your brain takes time to refocus, which slows you down. Instead of trying to do everything at once, practice deep work. Focus intensely on one task at a time, complete it, and then move on to the next. This approach leads to higher quality work and faster progress. Procrastination is another major distraction that prevents people from achieving their goals. It often disguises itself as harmless activities, checking emails, organizing your desk, or watching just one more video. But deep down, procrastination is just fear in disguise. It's the fear of failure, the fear of discomfort, or the fear of not being good enough. The best way to overcome procrastination is to take immediate action. Even if you don't feel ready, start. Momentum builds when you begin, and once you get going, it becomes easier to keep moving forward. Your time is your most valuable asset, and how you spend it determines your future. If you allow distractions to consume your days, you will look back and realize how much time was wasted. But if you take control of your focus, eliminate what doesn't serve you, and prioritize what truly matters, you will see incredible progress. The key is to be intentional about where you direct your attention. Remove the noise, set clear goals, and commit to taking consistent action. Growth is a personal journey, and it happens at your own pace. The biggest mistake people make is expecting instant results. They start working on their goals, and when they don't see immediate success, they get frustrated, lose motivation, and give up. But the truth is, real growth takes time. It's not about quick wins or overnight success. It's about consistency, patience, and the willingness to keep going even when progress feels slow. Every major achievement is built on a foundation of small daily efforts that compound over time. People often underestimate how much they can achieve if they just stay consistent. They want dramatic transformations, but they don't realize that small, repeated actions create the biggest changes. Whether it's improving your health, learning a new skill, or building a successful business, the process requires showing up every single day. Some days will be exciting and progress will feel obvious. Other days will be frustrating and it will seem like nothing is happening, but the people who keep going, even when they don't feel like it, are the ones who eventually succeed. One of the biggest challenges with growth is that it's not always visible. When you plant a seed, nothing happens for a while. You water it, give it sunlight, and care for it, but for weeks it seems like nothing is changing. Then one day a small sprout appears. What you didn't see was all the growth happening underground, the roots forming, the foundation strengthening. The same thing happens in life. The work you put in today might not show results immediately, but that doesn't mean it's not working. Progress is happening beneath the surface, even if you can't see it yet. This is why patience is so important. Most people quit too soon because they expect immediate rewards. They work out for a week and expect to see major physical changes. They start a business and expect success right away. But the truth is, anything worth having requires time and effort. The most successful people understand this, and that's why they keep going long after everyone else has stopped. They trust the process, knowing that if they stay consistent, results will come. Another reason patience is crucial is that growth is not a straight path. It's full of ups and downs, wins and setbacks. Some days you'll feel unstoppable. Other days you'll question whether you're making any progress at all. But just because progress isn't linear doesn't mean you're failing. The journey is messy, but every struggle teaches you something valuable. Challenges make you stronger, failures give you experience, and setbacks prepare you for bigger opportunities. The key is to keep moving forward no matter what. People who lack patience often compare their progress to others. They see someone else achieving success and wonder why they're not there yet. But comparison is dangerous because everyone's journey is different. Some people achieve success faster because they started earlier, had different opportunities, or took a different path. But their timeline has nothing to do with yours. The only timeline that matters is your own. Instead of focusing on how far ahead others seem to be, focus on your own growth. Celebrate small wins, track your progress, and remind yourself how far you've come. Success is not about speed, it's about endurance. It's about staying committed when things get tough, trusting that your efforts will pay off, and believing in yourself even when results aren't immediate. The people who succeed are not the ones who start the fastest. They are the ones who refuse to quit. They show up every day, put in the work, and keep pushing forward no matter how long it takes. If you want real growth, you need to be patient with yourself. Trust the process and keep going even when progress feels slow.